that the majority of men who come to sex therapy today for erectile dysfunctions are young men in their 20s, not old men after prostate issues.
Really?
Esther Perel. I apologize if I'm butchering her name. Apparently, she's just a monster dating coach, relationship coach, sex expert. She must be fired if she's up on the Diary of a CEO, man, because he has all the monster guests or whatnot. And apparently, she is giving her expertise on the lonely man epidemic, man. So it's always a topic of conversation here, man, to getting the bros right, especially. So let's see what she got to say and then what we can gather from it. Before we do, Peter Drip, shop, StephenKnight.com. And speaking of men, lonely men, men period, bro. Any man that want to come out here and just be better. Women too, bro. There's a few women in there too that's with the cause, man. Pull up to my self-development online community, bro. All right, let's see what you're talking about.
Is there an issue, when you mention men there, is there an issue that gender roles have shifted? And when we think about the plight of men, they are, you know, I think the single biggest killer of men over the age of 45 is themselves. And the gender roles have shifted so much that...
Suicide is the single biggest killer of men under 50 in the UK, with the highest rates among those aged 45 to 49. Yeah. Got to nip that shit in the bud, but we got to fix that shit.
Often men have less purpose, feelings of purpose and worth now than they used to have. Women and men have gotten closer to a point of financial equality. They've gotten closer than the past, which now kind of also means that the role of a man, if we think historically, is less clear than the role of a man maybe 50, 100 years ago.
To understand masculinity, you have to understand the broader spectrum of relationships. So relationships used to be about duty and obligation, loyalty and community. And happiness came not from what you do for yourself, but happiness came from having fulfilled your role and your mission and your obligation to the people that you owe to. Your family, primarily.
Fulfillment.
That model is still the prevailing model in most parts of the world. We shifted that model from duty and obligation to option and choice. And so now we have zero clarity and a lot of freedom. And we've never been more free, but we've never been more alone.
Bars.
And more confused and more filled with self-doubt.
How long have you been working with men and women in a relationship, love, connection?
40 years.
40 years.
Yes.
So what have you seen change in the conversation around men and masculinity? Like, what are the different problems that men are talking about when they speak to you that they weren't speaking about when you started your career?
I mean, you can start with the subject of loneliness. Loneliness, which is a general societal issue at this point, is definitely a major affliction, even more so for boys and men. Okay, loneliness was not the story of men in the 19th century. Men hunted together, men hiked together, men gathered together, men went to the bar together. Men had conversations with other men, met, you know. So there is nothing inherent about men that sets them up for more loneliness and isolation. That is really important to understand. Boys till the age of 4 and then till the age of 7 are highly emotional, they can articulate, so these are cultural phenomena. These are social developments. This is not
the norm.
Biological. This is not intrinsic to men.
One shift that's taken place.
That's a topic that comes up quite a bit in the comments of the videos I post and a lot of the conversations I have behind the scenes with men. This whole volunteering for the lone wolf journey and not being forced into it. Men take on this identity, this mindset of, I want to go out it alone. I don't need nobody else. Ain't nobody else out here for me. Can't nobody relate to my story, my struggles. And I need to go through it alone. And that couldn't be the farthest from the truth, man, because people, period, are social creatures, man. And if all you have available to you, or if all you want to have available to you is your own thoughts, you volunteering for self-sabotage, man, because there's no checks and balances there. There's no one there to look out for your true interests, your best interests. You're easily misguided, and no one person knows it all. That's one of the main staples of a man. One of the main factors that's going to place a man in the right direction, keep him on track, keep him accountable, is having a circle of bros, having a brotherhood, having someone you could lean on or just talk to who ain't gonna judge you, man, because men are all going through the same things, bro. But social media is what has cooked us. Feminist movement is what has cooked us, and men feel forced to go at it alone. And I understand that struggle there too, man, because you got to be conscious. You got to be conscious of who you communicate with and who you allow in. And the older you get, the more difficult it is to find friends that stick. But if you wanted to, you would, man. And there's so many different ways to get to know other people, especially with how globally connected we all are, man. There's so many groups and movements and organizations that you can find people that relate to you and your perspective and your struggle or whatever, man. It's just on you to go find it, because they're not going to come find you. You know what I'm saying? But you got to, bro. And, shameless plug, but it is what it is, bro. I welcome any of you who are on the fence about pulling up to my community. I don't even like calling it my community, bro, because it is what it is. Just people in there trying to give game or get game, be better, having a voice, having someone to talk to, no judgment or whatnot, man. People need that. Bros need community, bro. You know what I mean? We can't go out here putting fucking walls up and not letting nobody in, bro. This suffering and silence epidemic is real, but it's bullshit, because you're volunteering to suffer in silence when you have individuals out here who are opening, extending an arm for you. But nah, I'm a man, I gotta go through this alone. No, you don't. No, you don't.
One shift that's taken place, which I'm keen to get your perspective on, relates to sex. 1 in 3 men under 30 in the US reported no sex in the past year. That's triple the rate from 2008. Millennials and Gen Zs are having less sex than any generation since records began, despite more access to the dating apps we talked about.
Yeah.
In Japan, over 40% of young adults are virgins, and many say that they have no interest in sex. Mm-hmm. And lastly, married couples in the UK and the United States report a steady decline in sexual frequency since the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Oh, how do you have less interest in sex, though? He didn't give an age range, but how is that possible? It makes sense that people aren't having no sex. Like, if you don't use it, you lose it. That's got to be what it is, right? But damn, I couldn't imagine being 25, 22, hell, the age I am now, and just not being interested in sex, period, bro. No. You know what I'm saying? Them hormones still going, them nuts still trying to get active, bro. So what the fuck? Like, everybody just becoming asexual because of dating apps and social media and people not going out and meeting each other, bro. Y'all becoming asexual, bro. That's crazy as hell, dog.
Yeah. I wrote about that in Mating in Captivity that came out in 2006. That's 20 years ago. Yes, because in order to have sex with a female partner, if that's the man you're talking about, you need to be able to approach her. And so social atrophy is directly connected to what is often called the sexual recession.
You don't know what to say. You don't know how to talk about it.
In Mating, 20 years ago, I have an entire chapter where someone basically says to me, I'd rather have the security of an MBA than of a relationship. Okay? And at that point already, you began to see that adolescents in the United States, it's not everywhere in the world, but certainly in the US, and were more and more going in groups and having less and less pair bonding and less romantic relationships that accompany you through your adolescence, that develop with you. And you basically develop sex as part of a plot and not as something that at some point your hormones force you to do. But a relationship is a story. And then suddenly you arrive at a certain age and now you're looking at this other person with whom you want to have sex, and it's like this unknown continent that you have to conquer. But you've never spoken with those people. You have very little female friends who are just friends, who help you understand what happens with your girlfriend. There's an entire social map that has dissipated. So the sex is the last thing on the list of all these disconnects that then, of course, lead you to have this kind of statistic. Then that means with partners, they have plenty of sex, maybe with themselves and others, but it's partnered sex here that is involved, right? They have sex on porn. They have sex. They don't have partner sex, Do you understand when I say to you, you can add that to your statistics too, that the majority of men who come to sex therapy today for erectile dysfunctions are young men in their 20s, not old men after prostate issues.
Really?
That's the porn, bro. Porn, bro. Cooking the bros, man. And ain't a game, bro. It's not funny, dog. And fools trying to make light of it, bro. Could you imagine? It may be some of y'all that follow the channel now, bro, that y'all so hooked to it and come up with every excuse to stay hooked to it and not hold yourself accountable and just do the mental work and stay away from it regardless of your circumstances, bro. Right? You don't even know how to be with a woman now because you're too accustomed to stroking it yourself. You turned yourself into a whole voyeur, bro. 20 years old having ED, bro. Imagine the mental effects that has on a man, bro. I couldn't, dog. I couldn't. And that's the way the system wants it, to castrate you. Literal castration, bro. You can't even use your tip with a woman because you cooked your tip from watching too much corn. A woman's cavity, I'm trying to keep it PG, a woman's cavity is so foreign to you that the damn dick go straight to 6 o'clock, bro. I don't know what to do with this, man. I ain't trying to come out here and work. I ain't trying to have no physical connection with nobody, right? You know what I'm saying? I want you to pull the fucking screen up and pull up our genre of corn so we can get right, right? You got a whole woman waiting there just to devour your ass, and you can't do shit with it because you stroke too much, dog. And then imagine the embarrassment that bro has with that woman, knowing in the back of his mind why his shit ain't working, dog. Because you desensitized, bro. Right? Your dick know how your hand feel. That's all your dick want to feel. It don't want to feel no real grip from a woman, bro. And it's such a taboo topic to talk about. People run away from a shower, away from it, and embarrassed about it, dog. You know what I mean? That's real, man. That's why I go so fucking hard in the paint to get bros away from this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Got women asking me, why do you care about what other men are doing? Why do you care about where they spend their money? Bitch, because y'all fucking whores are cooking the bros. You know what I'm saying? Cooking them, right? That's why porn make more money than every fucking thing. Make more money than food. Motherfuckers out here rather stroke than fucking eat. Oh, I've known that statistic, bro, but it still hits, bro. 20s to 30s, ED. Your dick stop working before your prostate go out. And if you a man that can't fuck, bro, you ain't a man. I'm sorry. So, stop while you ahead, man. Stop doing damage, bro. Sanitize your shit. Get all that bullshit off, bro. And anything that gives you any type of trigger or whatever, get that shit off, dog. Pictures, messages, videos, anything that's going to trigger you to do something, dog, get that shit off because you're killing yourself, right? And then pull up to my goddamn community, bro. Pull up to my self-development community, bro. It's for you, dog. We attacking shit like this, man. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Because they spend an enormous amount of time with themselves.
Watching porn and masturbating?
Yes. Because in order to be able to maintain erections with a partner, it's an attunement, right? It's a resonance. It's grooving together. But if you've always just been by yourself, then you only know how to kind of be connected to
With
your
yourself.
own physiological responses.
I've worried about this before. I've worried that if I watch pornography, that I will like desensitize myself to the real thing.
Depends how much, depends if what else is in your life. I mean, it's not an all or nothing thing. But what I'm saying is social atrophy, the gradual disconnect of the multiple touch points between people leads to then the challenges that are also sexual, leads to the kind of social isolation, leads to
And
people...
that fucking answer my question about how you're not even interested in sex, bro. Because I can understand that if you rewired your brain to only be a voyeur, then that's your body's response to trying to reproduce, bro. But you busting nuts to videos, right? But that makes sense. You're literally reprogramming your mind to fuck with porn over an actual woman's body, bro. Fucking sad, dog. And that's the mindset you gotta have, bro. I don't give a damn what amount of corn you're consuming, bro. Cut it. And there's other things you can do for yourself to build enough mental resilience to not even be distracted by the existence of that shit within this world, bro. But it has to come to a breaking point where you like, fuck this shit, bro. I gotta do something. I mean, and there's things you can do to make that transition smoother for you, right? Pull up to the community, bro. Bro, just imagine for 1 second, bro, how confident you would be, how productive you would be, how much you would value yourself, how many goals and you could pursue and achieve if that was not an obstacle, if it wasn't a distraction, if it didn't pull you that way, right? Just imagine that for 1 second, bro. If you were able to fight that impulse, right, not be distracted by it at all, dog. I'm talking about, and that's, bruh, real shit, man, real talk. I don't know. It's a couple of it's a 5-headed monster right now that's beating bros down to a fucking bloody pulp mentally, and that's one of them. That's a monster. And imagine the amount of confidence you would have in yourself if you were able to kill that fucking monster, right? Compounded with the fact that you knowing the literal damage you are doing to yourself with what you are doing is literally making you less of a man. Right? You might as well identify with the LGBTQ and shit now, bro, because your dick don't even fucking work. You might as well be a trans now, on fucking hormones, estrogen. That's what you're doing to yourself. Next time you find yourself in a position you triggered by something, fucking stop. Don't do nothing. Acknowledge what the fuck is happening and go do something entirely opposite from that. Go do something productive and make this shit the routine, bro. Every time you get triggered, I gotta go knock out some push-ups that'll fucking mentally reset your ass, not even thinking about what you just was thinking about. You thinking about getting these gains, right? Next time you get triggered, I gotta go do some jumping jacks. Next time you get triggered, I gotta look up some stocks, right? Just make that the routine. Make that the process, dog. And it will just, you do it enough, it'll become just a habit. You won't even be thinking about that shit no more, bro. Matter of fact, you can fucking mentally rewire shit to associate titties and ass to me going out here being better, because you know that shit ain't for me. This shit is for me, bro. There's so many other things you can fucking do, bro, but I'm just trying to give a little game while I can, bro. If that's some game that you can rock with, pull up to the motherfucking community, bro, where we can get you fucking right, dog. But you know what I'm saying? This shit got to stop. It's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna get worse. Crushing fucking bros, dog.
Fusing friends and friendships, so they can have 1,000 virtual friends but no one to feed their cat. You know, it's all para.
No one to feed their cat.
Yeah,
That's
who would
real,
pick up
though.
a prescription at the pharmacy?
That's
Who may
real.
pick me up at the airport? Who will go check on someone I care about if I happen to not be there? Yes, who shows up for me? Because it's foundational to trust. Who can I lean on? Do you have my back? Can I rely on you?
So do you think the partnered sex is in decline because they're still having sex, but they're doing it on their own now in
Partnered
various
sex
ways?
is in decline because social connection is in decline.
Bars. You know, I be fucking talking about this shit all day, but I mean, she ain't saying nothing I don't fucking know already, bro. There's too many options. Social media got everybody fucking cooked. Porn got everybody fucking cooked. You know what I'm saying? No one is holding themselves accountable. No one's doing it for selfish reasons anymore. It's all about what I want, what I can get. People don't want to grow with each other no more. They want everybody to be the finished product. It's just to keep it short and sweet, bro. It's too many options. And you will be forever lost and distracted by all these options of all this noise, where you as a man or a woman just need to hone in and focus on what's important to you, hold yourself to a standard, come up with some non-negotiables for you to keep your ass on track and stay the course to that. And if this shit don't align with what the fuck I'm pursuing with my life, it's not gonna get my attention, right? That goes with love life, fitness, health, work, goals, everything. You know what I'm saying? Your standards for yourself. If it don't fall within these parameters of what I've created for myself, I'm not gonna do it. The people that operate that way are few and far between. So it's incumbent upon you to get it together. Anyway, dope combo.